Hi and welcome to the Hajime no Ippo podcast. This is episode 3 and I'm your host Jacob. On this week's episode, I will be talking about my thoughts and reactions to chapter 1311. Oh boy, get ready for my thoughts about this chapter because damn was this chapter good, and I have plenty of thoughts about this chapter. Even though it was a little short, 11 pages after a 2-week hiatus, it's a little frustrating, but we get what we get. And Morikawa is a great artist, and I think I just recently read on the Reddit he's busy with a boxing tournament. So if that's what he's doing right now, that's what he's doing. So we will wait patiently for every chapter. And I will begin with a recap about the chapter before I go on with my reaction. So nothing to be honest, nothing really happened, but at the same time, a lot of shit went down. The chapter started the unofficial unification title match between Ricardo Martinez and Billy McCollum. This match starts with both fighters not doing much. They are looking at each other, staring each other down, and as Ippo is analyzing like just that every single look is giving the other a like changing their battle plan from and that the aura is intense. You're getting a lot of Ippo flashbacks to his one-on-one spar that he's just getting all these flashbacks and these how would you say PTSD from his whooping from Martinez in that spar. And Ippo, as I said before, Ippo's completely in awe of the Martinez aura, but also, he's also noticing that McCullum's aura is almost just as strong. And on the other hand, Sendo, 2000s, and this is more of a 90s manga, but he's based a lot of boxers on recent boxers. So I'm not, I hope he's like a Floyd Mayweather, and, whether you like him or hate him, Floyd Mayweather was undefeated and was a great boxer that knew the game of boxing and used the Philly shell as a way to outlast his opponents to either knock them out or win by points. So I'm going to theorize that this match, I have like a small theory that this match might go into decision, might be like one of the first matches that Martinez is going to go to decision into. I will go into this theory a little later as well in the podcast, and just how, and I think the other reaction that really I think that this match, at least this chapter, is making me feel like this is going to be like a Vlog versus Elliot type of match, where it's going to be like a chess match where each move is calculated and all that. And I think the calculation, it's going to be super technical, and Martinez is going to be like having to overthink and do things like that, but he still will probably be calm, and it won't really he's just gonna have to try extra hard for this win. And and this might be the opposite of the previous fight, whereas Alf versus Sendo was a real machismo, fighting, all grit and bear, getting my ass beat, and then throw the perfect counter. That was my only hope to beat Alf. This is going to be more of like, all right, I'm going to be in this defensive stance. Martinez will be doing his powerful jabs and all that, and to no effect, because this this defensive style will be able to minimize a lot of Martinez's powerful jab. So we might even see something other than a jab to finish off Billy McCollum, and that would be interesting, because if you haven't noticed, Martinez hasn't really done anything he's only been jabbing. He hasn't really even used that much of a any other techniques. He relies on his jab to basically win his fights, because that's how he can dominate most of his opponents. So if Billy McCollum is really going to be something, I think that this might be it's not going to be an early round finisher. This might go all the way to the end, or it will be somewhere around like the Date fight, where it's going to be at least halfway, round 5, round 6. And hopefully like in the Date fight, we're seeing that McCollum's bringing something out of Martinez and giving him some more character to see if this fight will show any of the flaws that Martinez may have, and Also, if so, hoping to see more of Billy in the future, potential fights against Ippo when he returns. I don't know if I feel like Billy McCollum might be an important character down the line, right? With how I'm predicting this match to be very technical, and that Billy McCollum has his own aura that Ippo's like sensing and like feeling way like, oh my goodness, I two people with the same aura, and he's like feeling overwhelmed. I think in an Ippo return, if he fights McCollum, this might be a great opportunity for Ippo to do a really good match where he shows the readers and all that he can outthink an opponent. And I think that's the main thing when his return comes, that he doesn't get afraid and intimidated by his opponent and then just goes into full face tank mode. I think it's really crucial that he becomes a smarter fighter, and then even out intimidates his own opponents in the world stage. Moving on, one big theory I have, and I don't think it will happen, but because Billy McCollum might be a Mayweather a one for one representation of Mayweather. In a lot of fights that I've seen Mayweather do, he does knock his opponents out. But in a lot of fights, Mayweather was a smart fighter. He, used his defense, and then he would just wait and take smart shots. Smart shots, take nice shots for the judges, and wait until the scorecard. Or if he saw his opening, knock his opponent out. So I was crazy theory. Maybe this will go into a decision where Billy McCollum just in a technical level beats Martinez just through more punches, less punches taken, and more punches given. But realistically, I don't think that's even if it goes into decision. Martinez is winning. He has home field advantage. This is a fight in Mexico after all. If this was a fight in the United States, probably, or a fight anywhere else, probably McCollum would have the advantage. But this is a fight in Martinez's home territory. In boxing, as much as people don't like to admit, there is judges do have a home court bias. And then the only other way is if Morikawa decides to later reveal that one of the judges was bribed or something like that. And another interesting theory I have about this, if it does, why I think it might go into decision, or there might be a fight later on that ruins Martinez's perfect record, is because Martinez is closely related to the Mexican boxer Ricardo Lopez. And Ricardo Lopez had 49. He had 0 losses, 49 wins, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just remembering from the top of my head, but I think and 1 draw. And that 1 draw was a contentious draw because he practically dominated the whole fight, and the judges decided to make it a draw so his record wouldn't ever match that of Rocky Marciano. I think that was the crazy conspiracy theory I read about. And Ricardo also, the real life boxer, Ricardo Lopez, also basically dominated fighters with the jab, very much like Martinez. And so some people also say that Martinez is like an amalgam of like 30 Mexican boxers, Julio Cesar Chavez as well. And I think that might be true as well, but Julio Cesar Chavez, I think he was more an 80s boxer, and the 90s. No, actually, both fighters were actually more before the 90s, so we'll see. But that's why I think maybe this fight will end in a controversial draw or something to ruin his undefeated record, just to more closely match with the real life counterpart. And maybe that draw motivates or brings out something in Martinez. Crazy theory, I know. But I think that might be the case. Also going to Billy McCollum, where I'm excited to hear about the Philly shell. I think I'm not sure why I'm super excited about the Philly shell. I think it's just a super great defensive, style, and whether is he just going to be blocking all the jabs and doing that, or we'll see. We'll see for sure. Some more ideas regarding the chapter is that what's going on with Sendo? He's watching the fight. His hand's broken. Okay, he's probably not gonna leave the arena until he sees Ricardo. Show his stuff and all that. Show how tough a guy he is. Why he's the world champ. But is he brain dead or something? Does he not have the same PTSD that Ippo has? Because Ippo got in his sparring match, he got wrecked. All right, there's no way about it. Didn't do anything. He got wrecked in his sparring match, and this was years ago, but still. And then Sendo in his recent sparring match, got wrecked as well, and he's not sensing that, and it's also in a practice match. So if you even think about it that way, right? He was just doing a basic spar with Martinez, Martinez, and and Sendo got wrecked. Let's be honest here. He got wrecked, and whether or not he actually knocked him down or Martinez, slipped, that's up for debate. Who knows? No, I don't even think Ricardo knows, because he accepted it as a down, that he got downed, even though it may have just been a slip, as his trainer and all that were trying to reframe it as. But the potential of Sendo not realizing how how much this is different from that sparring match that he had, and that he it baffles me. Is Sendo did his face get so much pummeled that he just forgot the pummeling he got? Well, we'll see. But it's interesting when we're comparing Sendo and Ippo once again, because Sendo was in the last pages, he was like, yes, finally they're fighting, they're about to fight, they're about to throw the big punch. And on the contrast, Ippo was like, nope, can't believe that the punch is about to happen. The tension of the punch was too much for Ippo. Even to Ippo, that tension and the aura that they were feeling each other out and all that, was nerve-wracking for Ippo. So we'll see for that. And I think it really highlights how Ippo's still not ready to return to become a fighter, whereas Sendo, he's in that mindset, in that killer instinct mindset. So we'll see for sure. The other thing but as I was saying before, I'm expecting this to be a technical fight. I don't think this is gonna be a bloodbath or anything like that. This is gonna be a technical fight, because the whole reason why Kage the whole reason why Ippo's coach Kamigawa decided to send Ippo to Mexico at all was to learn something, right? So Ippo, in his trip to Mexico, where we didn't see much, it was skipped. He met Sendo, he sparred with him for a quick second to tune him up, and then flash forward to the day of the match, right? So we're not sure what if Ippo learned anything from Sendo or anything like that, or if his learning's all supposed to be from watching these matches. And if this is true, then I'm pretty sure Morikawa is going to be making this fight, a technical bout, so Ippo can learn and become smarter in some aspects, or discover something from him, because I think that's going to be a key component for this match. Kamigawa is seeing something in Ippo, his return maybe down the line, but before he's even ready, he's got to learn something. And if this becomes a super technical match where Ippo is firsthand seeing this in the ring, I'm really hoping that he's gonna become a smarter fighter, and not face tanking as much. I know the Reddit loves to talk about face tanking Ippo, and I hope that is a change. That is a change in Ippo's character and in his evolution of the boxing style. So this is the end to episode 3 of Hajime no Ippo podcast. Please let me know if you have any requests, anything to talk about. If when I have chapters where I'm not focusing on where I'm not focusing on the recaps of the chapters and my analysis, please keep on giving me your feedback on Reddit on the Hajime no Ippo Reddit. I'm loving it. I'm trying my best, and as I said before, I'm working on the pronunciations. You know, as much as you want to point them out, I'm gonna work on them. I'm working on them, and I'm doing all that. So please and thank you so much for this, and thank you for your positive feedback. And I love that so many people are listening so far, and I just want to thank you all, and I'll keep on trying. This won't be something where I quit. I will try my best, and I'll nail down the names. I'll nail down everything because this is a series I truly love, and I'm sorry that I butcher the names, but Japanese isn't my language, isn't my first language. English is. So I'll work better towards that. And this is the end. This is the end of the episode. Please check me out on, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast, all the other things where you can leave reviews. Please leave reviews. 5 stars, please, so more people can reach. If it's anything negative, please just email me it or reply to me on the Reddit, and I will. I also have an email for this podcast, thehajimenoippopodcast at gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, and keep on going, and I'll see you next week.